Hey there, this is Meenal.
And this is Kashmir.
We're
SavaniSis, here to activate Sukha, your inner joy. Hey everyone, welcome to SavaniSis channel. So Kashmir, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about why you may be confusing activity with accomplishment.
Ah, that's really interesting. So what is activity and accomplishment got to do with Sukha, activating your Sukha, your inner joy? Well, I guess we can go through that a bit later on.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so first of all, for those of you who don't know, we're going to talk about what is activity. So what do you mean by activity? What do you mean by accomplishment? So could you give me some examples?
Yeah, so activity is when you're going to a job and you're doing a whole bunch of meaningless work. You're doing work that's not really getting you anywhere. It's not fulfilling you. It's not making you happy. It's not getting you excited. You know, when do you jump out of bed and say, oh my God, I can't wait to go to work today? You don't have that sort of passion and energy carrying you, because when you go to work, most of the times what we're doing is a lot of meaningless work. We're just busy with work. We're just busy with the busyness, you know, but is that busyness actually accomplishing anything?
Yeah, because also what happens, right, is when you actually finish a long day's work,
Yes.
and you feel like you've been really, really busy, you might even feel to a certain extent you've been productive, you've got a lot done. However, you feel quite drained at the end of the day, you feel tired. And if you really ask yourself, what am I accomplishing here? Am I moving towards my dream? Am I moving towards something that I really feel passionate about or love? Now, I'm saying this because some of you will be in a job where you do feel passionate, where you do feel you're accomplishing something, where you do feel you're doing something meaningful and helping society, and it feels very fulfilling and very satisfying. But I'm telling you, the percentage of people that feel like that are very small, and if you are one of those, you know, you are so blessed. I wish I had that in my job.
Exactly, I wish I was there.
So, and even like travelling by tube, Kashmir,
Right.
on the London Underground,
London
I remember when I
commutes,
used to commute to work sometimes, you know, on a Monday morning, you would just see so many miserable faces. you know.
Definitely.
I just definitely wouldn't be feeling the joy on that train ride. No way. So, you know, you're not really accomplishing anything if you don't feel good about what you're doing, you know,
Right.
and that is what activity is, isn't it? When you're thinking you're accomplishing something, but you're not really. You're just
Yes.
doing activity, and that's it. And it's
Yeah.
not really getting you anywhere.
Exactly, and generally speaking, you'll realize and find that the activity that you're doing isn't actually making you feel good. You know, you're feeling drained and exhausted, like Meenal said, and that shouldn't be the point of life. That's not what life is about. Life is about joy, about gratitude, about love, right?
About feeling good.
Exactly.
So the other example I've got, actually, when you were saying that, I was thinking about activity when you also have a weekend where you just pack your weekend full of
yes.
social activities, going here, going there, shopping,
Going to the
meeting up
cinema,
with friends.
going bowling, socialising,
And what do
meeting
you
up
do
with
in the
friends.
UK?
And here in the UK, I don't know how it's like in other parts of the world, but they smoke shisha here. You know, they have shisha bars. It's a big thing.
Yeah, shisha, weed, going to clubs, whatever.
Right.
Now, we're not saying any of that
This
is
is
wrong.
wrong.
If you want to choose to do that, and that's how you choose to live your life, that's absolutely fine. However, when you're doing those things because you're masking something
Right.
that's really inside of you, then that's when you're mistaking activity with accomplishment, because you're not accomplishing anything. You're just doing these things just to make yourself feel good or validated or feel
Temporarily.
important temporarily.
Right.
But really, once you stop doing these things, you feel unhappy again, you feel sad again, and it's almost like you fear being by yourself, being on your own with your own feelings.
That'll
So
be
you
a true
end up-
test of what the relationship is to yourself, right?
Exactly.
Can you spend time alone with yourself, you know? And what comes up for you when you have got that moment of solitude and you have no distractions on the outside to be a band-aid or to mask the pain that you were temporarily masking while you were doing all these outside things.
Exactly. So just imagine if you had weeks of just being on your own and not doing these outside activities. Are you okay facing your feelings?
Right.
And all the feelings that are going on that you might be carrying in your body for years? It could be guilt, it could be not feeling good enough, inadequate, all those
Yes.
type of feelings that might come up for you. But it's painful sometimes, it's uncomfortable
It's
to
vulnerable.
face that. It's being very vulnerable with yourself. And in order to face those things, it takes a lot of courage. And sometimes it's easier short term just to be doing things outside of yourself,
Yes.
so that you don't have to address those feelings inside of you. And so you're thinking you're doing activity, but you're not really accomplishing. You are doing activity, but you're not really accomplishing anything.
Yes.
Right? So another example is the caterpillar story. I remember
yes.
hearing that. Go on, Kashmir, share that one.
Okay, so there is a really cool story to illustrate this concept of how it looks like when you're confusing activity with accomplishment. So it's called the processionary caterpillar story.
Yeah.
And what this entails is you have a caterpillar, you place a bunch of caterpillars in a circle, you'll realize that one caterpillar follows a caterpillar in front. So they're just moving around in a circle. And you place food in the middle of the circle, which is just inches away from the circle that the caterpillars have created. And they continue to follow the caterpillar in front of them. And they feel like, I'm busy, I'm doing loads of activity, I'm working, right? So they're just going round and round. And what ends up happening after days, weeks, months, they die of exhaustion, they die of starvation, even if the food was just inches away from the circle. And this is what many people do today. They just work, work, work. They're busy with busy work and they never accomplish anything. And how do they feel at the end of the day? Like Minal said, at the end of a working day, let's say at the end of a 9-to-5 job, exhausted, drained, miserable, fatigued, tired, all of these things.
This is my favourite bit, actually, talking
Yes.
about accomplishment.
Yes.
So what is real accomplishment? Accomplishment, in the simplest way I can say, is actually loving what you do. Love what you do. When you love what you do, even if you can't see any tangible results, in other
Yes.
words, you've not made money from it, you're not getting validation from others or
Right.
recognition from others, but you're just loving being in the moment of doing what you're doing, that is accomplishment. Why? Because when you love what you do, the feeling of love, the feeling of gratitude, the feeling of joy in what you're doing is emitting a frequency out into the universe. Now the universe is a feeling universe. Check out our Instagram because we've got lots of quotes like this, that the universe is a feeling universe. So it hears what you feel rather than what you're just thinking alone. So when you start to emit this frequency, the universe will just bring you back more things to love, to feel grateful for, to feel joyful for. And in that sense, you actually are accomplishing something. So moving on a little bit from that, I want to say that success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. What that means is that when you're doing something that feels worthwhile for you, that's fulfilling for you, that's pushing humanity forward, you're helping others especially, as well as helping yourself, that's when it really feels, it just feels so satisfying. Even when you're not getting the results, the tangible results in the physical realm, you are just loving the process of it. So people will see you and think, my God, you're working so hard, you're working all day. But for you, that's not work. You're loving it. It's like play for you. You're enjoying it so much that it doesn't feel like work for you. And at the end of the day, after you put in 10 hours of what you're doing that you love doing, or 60 hours a week, you end up not feeling drained. You just feel energized. You can't wait to get out of bed and start the project again, or start on what you're working for, because you just love what you're doing. That love vibration in your body really carries you forward, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It actually energizes you. When you're
Yeah.
feeling, just imagine when you're feeling really low and you've got all these kind of negative feelings in your body, you're going to feel
heavy.
tired, you feel heavy, your body physically feels heavy.
It's hard
you want
to get out
sleep.
of bed.
You want to sleep, it's hard to get out
The
of
days
bed.
are drag.
You're yawning a lot.
You're dragging
You're
your
just-
feet along life.
Exactly. Whereas when you're loving, when you're feeling passionate, just imagine when you go on holiday and you're just excited and you're
Excited.
loving everything. You feel so energized on holiday. You find you don't need as much sleep as
Yeah.
if you are back at home and you're doing your 9 to 5 and you're dragging your feet. So there's definitely a different energy to love. You feel like you've taken a shot of energy. That's how you feel. And so that is true accomplishment, is when you're loving what you do.
What's this got to do with Sukha, inner joy?
Yeah, so what this has got to do is that when you love what you do, you're feeling this joy inside of you, you know, and it is in some ways independent of outside circumstances, because you're not dependent on feeling this joy, dependent on results, tangible results. So you could be loving what you're doing and people are thinking, why are you so happy? You haven't made money from this, you haven't got these results from it, you know, you've been doing this for the last month or two, and what have you got to show for it? Or people aren't coming back to you and saying, oh, you know, what you're doing is great, so you're not getting any validation from anyone. So you are just feeling this joy inside of you, independent of all of that. You're not allowing the outside to influence how you feel inside. You're just in the moment of what you're doing, and you're just loving it so much, and you're feeling this, sometimes this joy, this bliss, this Sukha, and it's just a wonderful feeling. So we're not saying quit your 9 to 5 and just find something that you love and start doing it. No, we're just saying find a balance. You know, if you can find something in your work that you love, that you feel like you're moving towards, then hang on to that and really give appreciation and love towards that. If you can't do that, then even saying, right, can I do something in the evenings or on the weekends where I'm actually working towards a worthwhile dream? As you're working towards that dream and you're loving what you're doing, the universe will automatically bring you the results. So anything else, Kashmir?
Yes, so maybe like when you're creative, usually that's when you feel like you're accomplishing something. You see music artists and painters and dancers always feeling so fulfilled and excited and energized and passionate. It's because they're finally expressing their creativity. So usually when you're doing something that you love, it usually comes in the form of a creative expression, and or something that you created that's your own, that you can call your own baby, you know. And that's one of the kind of things that you feel like you are accomplishing something.
That's a really good concept, Kashmir. I like that. So creative expression.
Yeah, creative expression. Yeah. Because it's coming from you.
I think when you're expressing yourself and you're doing something creative, there's a lot of love that goes into it. So
and authenticity.
And unfortunately, a lot of jobs,
they don't allow
creative expression. You know, you have to follow some organizational rules or what your boss has said, and it's very structured or routine what you're doing, and you're not doing anything new. You're not creating. Creating means that you're tapping into something from the unknown and you're creating something new. When you're creating and that's coming from you, that's when you feel alive. You know, you really do feel alive. That opens your heart up and you just start to feel really, really good inside.
Right. And usually you find that you're in a state of flow. Time is passing by, you don't even realize it, because you're so engaged and you're so passionate, and you have this energy and spirit like just carrying you through the activity which you absolutely love. So really it's you being in the accomplishment journey.
So you know what, I just thought of something that would be a great topic to talk about: creativity and inner joy. Yes, we'll definitely do that for another video. We're going to expand much more on that, and how important it is to be creative, and how society has been built to kind of reduce that creativity or not allow creative expression to come out. So we're going to really tap into that, and hopefully you'll all benefit from that video as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video.
Stay tuned for more videos. If you're enjoying these videos, please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. We'd greatly appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye for now.